Okay, so here let us start with exporting. So right now, I just copied it and then exported. And once I download it, it will actually be in the zip drive. So I'm gonna go to your class. So I'm gonna take a look. Searching for all the sections. I'm not searching for all the sections at one time. So I believe it was either it's BO1, HO1, or JO1. So I'm going to go to BO1 for right now. All right. Once I come to the class, okay, so this is your course. So this is empty right now. So I'm going to go to course administration, click on import, export. Right now we can import, start, and then this right here, the zip drive that I actually exported out. Now I'm going to just click on it and put it right here. And it's going to ask me again to import all component or advanced option. So I already pre-select everything that I want you to have initially. Now would you just wait for a minute to open up the zip drive or zip file. So in this video, while we wait, in this video, I'm gonna show you how to upload a file, okay, within the course content, and then we will take a look at the gradebook as well. So I'm going to show you how to set up your gradebook. All right, so view content. Here we go. So this is still Math 110 BO1. Okay, so if I'm starting from the very beginning, okay, so announcement page can be created right here. So if I click on content, so I have rearranged everything here. Okay, so all my arrangements are here. So if you click on one of them, you will see the topic. So the only thing I uploaded so far is your lecture handouts. I will also email you. I probably don't have to email you because what I also did was if you click on the quizzes up here and then click on question library, I actually already kind of load all the questions that I already built. So here's the exam I built during the summer semester. So you can actually use the problems on here for pop quiz. So if you click on quizzes, okay, I got quiz syllabus. So every single problem I already built is already in here. So if you want to like change the problem up, okay, you can just click on edit and then you can change it to however you wanted it. Okay, so these are the type of problems I have. So I purposely upload the question so you can see the type right here is WR. So if you click on new here, okay, WR means written response questions. So the only thing I ask a student to key in the box, okay, in their box is simply simply a letter M. Handwritten scratch word on the poem scratch paper, do not enter response below. So this particular problem, I told them not to write any response in the box. So this is where I asked the student to write their response on the departmental scratch paper. So if this is not the way you want to do it, that's fine. So for right now, you need to decide, okay, how am I supposed to give the assignment? How do I want my student to receive the assignment, and how do I want the student return the assignment back to me? So I go ahead and upload this quiz for you so you can begin to take a look at it. Basically the way how I write the questions for the online class. So, and I will still email you the Word document version of these as well. Okay. So what's interesting here is if I click on new and just go to written response, what's interesting here is inside the question text for D2L, we can actually insert, go to the summation sign, graphical equation. We can actually type, okay, our equation. So 2x plus 1 equal to 4. We got fractions, we got square roots, any radicals, exponents. So exponent look word like this. X, click on that, second power. Okay, so we can actually build our questions inside the D2L. Okay, whereas Moodle before, they actually cannot do that. Now, can the student's response also be like that? And the answer is yes. Student can actually key in mathematical equations as well. But to me, it just seems like it's too much work on the student's end, especially if there is a timed. Okay, so you gotta be very careful. Just based on that photo, student will probably use the photo math to actually get the answer. So if they can get the answer from the app, just and then key it in response, that kind of defeat the purpose of learning. Okay, so take a look at if you want to explore a little bit on the quizzes and the knowledge checks, you can. So some of these quizzes right here, in my class, I will begin to rename those. So very important that you decide how you want to receive, okay, and how you want to give students assignments. Okay, so for knowledge checks, this is already all building here. You can change it, okay, if you want to. You can change the question. You can add more questions. Take my questions away just by simply just click on it and then delete it. Okay, so build your assignment. Okay, either in the Word document, hand it to students, or you can build it inside D2L. Okay, now grades. So let's do this together. Okay, every time we get a new course, the first thing we check is always the gradebook. All right, so when I click on grades, this thing called the setup wizard. So I'm gonna click on this and go to my another class. I'm just gonna go to my new class, Math 110, 511. All right, and I'm gonna move it to another screen so I can actually make sure all our settings are the same. So as I go over the setup for the gradebook for the first, I will also tell you the reason why there are certain settings. Okay, so right now, these are the default setting. So let's get started. First thing, choose the grading system. If you want to do weighted, okay, points or formula. So I actually don't recommend points or formula. So most of the time we set it as weighted, and then click on continue. Step number 2, your final grade release. Okay, so you always want the D2L calculate the final grade, and I personally automatically release the final grade. Okay, because that gives the student the most current grade at all time. So I'm gonna check on this and click on continue. All right. Drop on graded item. That simply means whatever. So let's say you have a graded item in your gradebook, but you have not give student the assignment. In that case, sorry about that. In that case, the gradebook is not calculating that empty grade until you actually submit the grades for that item. Okay, so that's basically how most of a math teacher calculating grades. Now with the new Q grade policy, whereas if a student does not do their last assignment, okay, we have to manually enter all the zeros into the gradebook. Then whatever if they have a failing grade, that will be a Q grade, which is an unearned F. So if let's say if a student has a B average, and then the student did not do the last 6 assignment that you actually already have it in the gradebook. So at the end of the semester, students see their passing grade, not with the zero. Okay, not with a zero that you have not submitted yet. Okay, so that a lot of time causing a lot of issues with especially online classes. So um so the English department recommended us to actually use ungraded item as 0. What that means is every single graded item you have in the gradebook is automatically starting at 0. Okay, so that means if you have 10 graded item already in the gradebook, that means student work from 0 in their way upward. Okay, so it's kind of good idea in a way because you are forcing students to work for their grades. They want to see their grades to go up. So if they ever miss assignment, that 0 stays in the grade book. Okay, where you don't have to manually enter the grade into the 0. It's automatically 0 from the very beginning with. So I'm going to show you this just in a minute, okay? From my grade book, you kind of saw it from the previous video. So treat ungraded item as 0. All right. Use the organizational percentage chart. So this is good. The next step. Decimal place. Y'all probably do whole number, so I'm going to change that to no. All right. So here we go. So student view, this is actually what students are going to see. They're going to see their point grade, they're going to see their weight grade, and they're going to see the scheme symbol. What that means is every letter grade is color coded, so they will actually see different color. So different color means different kind of grade. All right, number decimal display for students. If you want to do a whole number, that would be 0 right here. So if your high school or high school district saying gotta have one decimal place, okay, you can come back here and change it. All right, make sure this is click final grade calculation. Display the final grade calculation to users at all time. Continue, continue. All right, so now this is a summary. So everything is done. So we click on finish. And then it take us to here, okay? So rather than do it from here, I'm gonna go to manage grades. All right. So we got two things here. We got final calculated grade and a final adjusted grade. That's okay. Don't have to worry about that. So right now we need to, based on the according to the syllabus, we need to go ahead and our graded items. Okay, the different types of grading items students are supposed to have. So you are supposed to have knowledge checks. So I'm going to go here, add a category. All right, so I'm setting up category for you real quick. Knowledge checks. All right. Short name is simply implies that what it will be displayed when you actually come to the gradebook. The knowledge checks weighs 20% of the total grade. Now here, here is a little bit tricky, okay? How do you want all the items under this category being graded? Do you want to manually assign weighted to the items, or you want to distribute weights by the points across all items? I like this one better because let's say if you have one knowledge check is 10 points, another one is only 2 points, you will actually automatically distribute the weight for you, okay, based on the total number of points is under this category. I'm going to click on save and close. All right, I'm going to drag my class over real quick. Let you take a look. So basically my knowledge check is 16 points. The whole thing weighs 20. So what D2L does by simply selecting that distribute the weights by the points simply means that the D2L add up all the points under the knowledge checks and then distribute the weights. That's the reason why you see different weights right here. So the assignment with the more points weights more kind of makes sense. So this is not something you do manually. This is just something. This is actually what's cool about using D2L. It automatically distributes the points for you. So just make sure you key in the maximum points correctly. It automatically calculates for you. So as you can see, the syllabus knowledge check is worth 19% of the total grades under this particular category. Okay, so it calculates itself. All right, so let's go to pop quiz. Right now, I only have 5 pop quiz. It can be more, it can be less. But I'm gonna do more, probably, because just in case if I it really depends on how you want to set it up. So let's click on new, click on category. So I'm still setting up category. I haven't set up items yet. So I'm gonna say pop quiz. All right, pop quiz weights 20% of the total grade. Again, I'm gonna here you can do distribute weights by points across. All right, save and close. All right, I got 2 items so far. Okay, and if you want to change the order of this, you can just simply click on more actions, reorder, and you can just order this however you want it. All right, let's do the next category. Oh, hang on a second. Sorry, I forgot what the next category is. Pop quiz and an actual quiz. Okay. Quizzes is 40% of total grade. I'm gonna do distribute points again. So if you want all your quizzes weights the same, you just click on this one. Then it automatically calculates it for you. All right, let's save. Got pop quiz, and then the last one should be discussion. Okay. Discussion grade is 20%. This is not so much of a class participation kind of like. I really want students to actually discuss, okay, with you. So the discussion questions can actually be assigned under discussion, which I will show you how to do that as well. All right, so let me go to this one, category. So discussions or forums, let's call it forums. I like to call forums better. Let's go with discussion. All right, discussion are 20% of your total grade. All right. This can be something, distribute evenly across all items. Okay, that's not a problem. And if you ever want to change how you want to do this, you can. All right, save. Okay. So now come to the important part. Individual items. Okay. So click on new item. All right, always do numeric. All right, here we go. Name. Let me just call the knowledge check number 1 if you want to. So I actually name my knowledge check very specifically. Let me show you. Let me come over here. I name my knowledge checks in a very specific way because it associates with the topic. Okay, with the topic that we actually go over. So let me just kind of write this out, type it out for you. Now, category is very important. That's why we set up category first. So where does this knowledge check fall on? This knowledge check will fall under which category? So the drop-down menu, you can just say, okay, it will fall under knowledge checks. Or if this is a quiz, then you will select quiz. Okay. That's why the settings for the category got to be set first before we can put input items. All right, so I'm going to do knowledge checks, number 1. All right, so let's just say this is only 5 points. Okay, so D2L automatically recognize that when you select the category, however you set up the is supposed to be graded inside that category, like by the points. Okay, it automatically calculated for you. It automatically weighted for you. So I'm going to click on save and close. So knowledge check number 1 fall under knowledge checks. All right, let me do another one. It's called a knowledge check number 2. All right, I'm going to put under the category of knowledge checks, but this time I'm going to say the maximum point is only 1. Watch what happens. Okay, it automatically counts that 1 point as a 16%, the 5.1 as 83%. So why the percentage is so high? Because I only have 2 items. Okay, I only got 2 items inside this category. So once you finish building all your knowledge checks, okay, these percentage will begin to drop to the appropriate number. So that's the reason why, you got to have an idea of how many knowledge checks you want to give and how many quizzes you want to give. You got to have an idea. So and it's okay right now. The way is different because what students sees, their grades will change. So if I go to enter grades right now, all your students start out with 0. Every assignment, the 2 knowledge check I already building here are 0. The final calculated grade is 0 out of 20 because I only have these 2 items under this category up right now. Okay, so if I will build more graded assignment into other category, this number will be 0 out of 100. Okay, so as more graded item you have for each knowledge checks, these percentage will begin to change as well. So let me go back to manage grades. So I'm just gonna do one of each so you can see it. Okay. Oop. New item, numeric, pop quiz, number 1. However you want to name it, I'm gonna put this under the pop quiz. I'm gonna do 10 points. All right, so it's under there. All right, I'm gonna do new item, numeric. All right, let's do quiz number 1, category, quiz. Let me do 3 points. There you go. So let's do another one. Let me quickly do this real quick so I can show you. Quiz number 2. All right, select the category, quiz. Let's just do 5 points. All right, let's do pop quiz number 2. Let me do 7 points. All right. See how the weight start changing? Every time I add, the weight start changing. All right, let's just name a couple discussion, okay? Discussion number 1, I think it was weighted evenly. So if you want to do weighted evenly, you can just keep it at the same points, okay? If you want to do 100 points for each one, it's okay. That just means when you actually grade a discussion, you got to do out of the hundreds within that category. Otherwise, you will throw off the weight. Items, numeric, discussion number 2. All right, discussion. All right, if I only do 10 points, right now 100, right now it is still split up as 50-50 because under the category of discussion, we already set it as distribute weight evenly across all items. All right. So it doesn't change it. So what the points here simply means is when you grade that discussion number 2, if you put 100 rather than 10, if a student got 100 and you enter 100, that means that student's grade is actually what? It's actually 10 times higher, okay, than what it's supposed to be. So that's why if you want to do evenly distributed weights for that category, then all you want to make sure all the maximum points are the same. So to keep you, so you won't forget what how you're supposed to assign. All right. Now, for other ones that we actually do distribute weights by the points across. Okay, so if we do it that way, and then you make all the maximum points the same. If you make all the maximum points the same as 100, for example. There you go. It's go back to split 50-50. Okay. So that's the difference between this is the difference between what it means by distribute weight by points across. If you select this one, that means you have different points for different assignments. If you want all the assignment have the same point, graded evenly, you can select distribute weight evenly. All right. So now I got items in all the categories so far. So if I go back to your students, enter grades, everybody should be 0 out of 100. Okay, that's how it works. All right, so that's how we do the gradebook. So please delete what I already did, or if you want to modify it, you can. Okay, so let's go back to content. So far, if we click on table of content, it show you everything at one time. Down here in the bottom, you just go click on, sometimes you got to click on load more. So far, this is what I have arranged. So see the word draft here? The draft simply implies that student cannot see that. Okay, student can only see what has been published. So if I go to week number 1, right here it says published. Once it's published, then student can see it. So if you're not ready for student to see, just click on the drop-down menu, click on draft. Then the student cannot see it. So let's go ahead and turn your, if you want to turn these into draft, you can. The reason why I keep them all as draft, just so in case something happened, you didn't cover, let's say you did not finish and cover all this material in week number 3, you can actually begin to move these into other weeks. Okay, you can move all this stuff into other weeks. So you can actually customize what is being covered for each week. The easiest way to moving these sub modules, that's what we call them, sub modules. Week number 1 has no sub module. That's why when I click on week number 1, no sub module show up. If I click on week number 2, sub module pops up. So the best way to organize your sub module is go back to table of contents, click on related tools, course builder. Inside the course builder right here, I haven't messed with these yet. Inside the course builder, if you actually open up the plus sign, okay, you can actually move things around. You just click on it and then actually begin to drop them. Okay, you can drop them any way you want. See this orange highlight? That means I'm going to drop it in there. Okay, if I can actually move it up above week number 3, or I can actually move them back. Okay, So right here, I already moved it. So I'm gonna click on this and then move it back. See the line right there? That means it's gonna go right on the review for specific variables. Okay, so make sure I did it. All right, so if I actually move them back, see this line right here is below week number 3, above week number 4. Go a little bit down, that will actually be inside of week 3, above review the exponents. Okay, so it automatically saves it for you. All right, so with the syllabus, I already emailed it to you. I will need you to edit. Okay, put your contact information on it. I think this is my name on your syllabus. Please edit the beginning of the syllabus on the Word document. I'm gonna go back real quick. All right, it's got my name on it right now, so please change this part right here. So let me go back to week number 1. You know what? Let's go. Yeah, week number. If you click on week number 1, only week number 1 shows up. So once you edit it, save it. All right, let me show you right here. I'm gonna go to my class. ANTC. I'm gonna show you how to do this real quick. It's a blank one. All right, I got this blank one right here. So click on the drop down arrow key, change file. Once you save it onto your desktop, onto a folder, you can have the folders up. Okay, and click on the syllabus you updated, and click on it and hold it, and begin to drag and drop it. All right, and then click on update, and that's it. Let's load real quick. Voila, that's the empty one. All right, that's how you're replacing old file with a new file. So that goes for all these Word documents. If you look at my if you modify my lecture handouts, okay, then you can actually just click on it and then click on change files, and then let it override. Okay, whatever you change, let it override it. Otherwise, you're gonna have a lot of files inside your course. All right, content information. Okay, click on content information, click on view topic. All right, change your name to Mr. Mrs. So-and-so. Okay, and click on edit HTML. Then you can actually edit the entire body. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and erase this part. If you want to put anything on here, you can. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. So what I'm gonna do, basically, what I'm gonna do is whatever this class, I think this is Miss Cannon's class. I'm gonna export Miss Cannon's class and then put it into Miss Velour's class. Okay, so because I'm editing this as I go, so that means when both of y'all access the D2L, then both of y'all will have the same stuff inside of it. All right. Okay, so for the assignment that we built under grades, okay, these are just names of the assignment. All right, these are just name of the assignments. So the word association simply implies this assignment is associated with who. Okay, so for knowledge check number 1, I'm gonna say my knowledge check number 1. I can put it under quiz or under assignments. Okay, so it's really no difference because it depends on how you want it. If you want your students to do knowledge checks using D2L, then you want to put them under quizzes, because quizzes allow the student to actually entering their response. So I'm gonna just start a new quiz. All right, I'm gonna click right here on names. I'm gonna copy and paste it. Okay, category here simply means category to organize under quiz. So I don't have any category, that's okay. Quiz is empty, so that means if I already previously built quizzes, okay, or knowledge checks inside the question library, then I can actually either build them right here for this knowledge check number one, or I can import it from my question library. So I recommend you do it from the question library if you want to. I know personally I need to do it because if I ever need to update any knowledge checks from one semester to the next semester, I will update them inside the question library. Okay. So that means I don't have to make the same change every semester. I just change it inside the question library one time, and then I can always export the question library. So I'm click open up all the knowledge checks. I'm gonna say open up knowledge check for syllabus. I'm gonna select all these. Click right here. They're all selected. Okay, don't select the folder says knowledge check. Select the questions. Add. All right, so voila, all those questions are now under knowledge check number one. Click on down editing questions. Okay, question per page if you want, one at a time, two at a time, and apply. Two at a time, apply. Shuffle if you want to shuffle. And then down here, okay, well, and then go here to restrictions. Okay, make it active. Due dates, set your due dates here if you want to. If you don't want to do due dates, you just take them off. All right, down here, if you want it to be timed, you can. Recommended time limits versus enforced time limits. If you want to enforce it to be 30 minutes, okay, give them a warning. Then you might want to prevent students from making any further changes once the time is up. Okay, you can set that up. Assessment. Now, here is the thing about assessment. So, depends on how you want to receive back the assignment. If you receive him back as on paper form, okay, then you should not have any graded item right here. Because if you select graded item as knowledge check number one, that means this quiz, this knowledge check number one is now attached to the gradebook. All right. If you want it to be separate, okay, if you're receiving back the assignment as on paper form and you want to hand grade it, then you go to assignments, okay, and do it on the assignment aspect. Okay. So I'm gonna purposely attach knowledge check number one with under this quiz. Okay. I normally don't automatically grade. I actually automatically export to grades. That simply means I will grade it first, then you will publish. All right, one attempt, two attempt, however many attempt. Okay, got to be careful. The more attempts you give the student, that means the more time you have to grade. All right, and submission views. So once they submit, what do you want them to see? Okay, you can click on additional views, or you can change the default view. Okay, default view details. Yes, questions answered correctly, incorrectly. Show all question without user response. I will not check one says show class average. You don't want your student to see how other people do in a way, because the FERPA, we can't tell other students each other's grades. Okay, so I will so if you want the student to see all your questions, okay, with user's response, okay, all of them answer correctly. I normally just do the first one, show answer incorrectly. That's the only thing they see. Okay, because I don't want I don't want a student to show the one they answer correctly and then go tell their buddies what the answer is, basically. All right. That's why the due dates are very important. The due dates are very important because if you don't set the due dates on it, and then some student turn in their assignment first, and then you grade that student's assignment and got 100, and that student will give everybody else the right answer. Okay, so be aware of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and save it for right now. Okay, so see this little symbol right here. That symbol means now this is a graded item attached to knowledge check number 1 in the gradebook. Now I'm gonna go to assignments, click on new assignments. I'm gonna do knowledge check number 2 here. Excuse me. All right, give whatever instruction you want. All right, this is going to be this assignment is individual type. So the assignment here is basically for submission. Students submit their work. Okay, so submission type. If you don't want student to upload anything into the D2L, you can just do text submission, or you can do observe in person. I think observe in person, I think, is more like see right here, mark as complete. That simply means student had to click on this assignment in order for you to actually enter any grades. Otherwise, you can't enter grades. Otherwise, it simply means student never did the assignments. So, or you can do submission type, text submissions. Text submission simply means student got to typing something. All right. Category. No, this category is a way to organize. So I can't remember what we score out of it. Ooh, what did we set? See, let me go to it real quick on different screen. I'm sorry. Hang on 1 second. I'm almost there. Knowledge check number 2 was 1 point. Okay. Score out of 1. Graded item. So here we go. This is how you attach the assignment to the gradebook. Knowledge check number 2. Okay. All right. And save and close. Oh, sorry. The next step, edit assignment. Restrictions. Make sure you make it active. Uncheck hidden from user and assign in due dates if you need to. All right. So here we go. I'm going to go back to the gradebook, managing grades, and take a look. See right here, association. One of them was under quiz. The other one was under assignment. Okay. That's what the difference are. So let me go to content real quick and I will delete this as well. All right. So how do you upload your the assignments? All right. So wherever you want them to be at, okay, which submodule you want them to be at, all you need to do is click on existing activity, assignments, or the quiz, and click on it, and voila, there it is. I'm gonna go to quizzes, and then voila, there it is. Oh, quiz knowledge share 1 go before 2, so just click and drop. Switch order for you. All right, so this is kind of weird. Okay, class hasn't started yet, but as an instructor, we can preview this. Start the quiz setup. Oh, excuse me. Preview. All right, bypass the restriction that we already set. I'm going to click on start. Voila, that's what it looks like. Okay. We can't submit. We can't submit anything. All right. So exit preview. All right. So student can access, student can access your quiz from these tab up here. So these tabs up here is a quick way for students to get to the assignments. All right, I'm gonna go to knowledge check number 2. And knowledge check number 2 is different, okay? It actually requires students to have a text, okay? So they have to, well, this is instructions. So let me, I think normally students have to type something when they click on it. See, right now the class has not started yet. I can't really show you how to do this. But once the class started, normally student will have to type something. Click on knowledge check number 2, and they have to enter something, okay? It's so we are looking at this from the instructor's point of view. So they have to enter something. They have to type a text. So students' view is a little bit different than our view. So you really can't see. We can't really see what students see until after the course started. So if you want to go to student view, just simply go to your name, view as a student. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to table of contents real quick, and I'm going to delete these two topic. Okay, so I'm basically delete the assignments under the assignments and the quizzes, but your grades is still going to be there. The naming of the grade book is still going to be there. So once I delete topic, and I'm going to you can remove the topic from the content or permanently delete them. I'm going to do permanent. All right, permanent delete them. Okay, check this out. Let me go back to grades and managing grades. And you see the 2 knowledge check is no longer have an association because I permanently delete that assignment it associated with. All right. So I think it's kind of a very kind of good start. The more you play with this, the easier this becomes. So if you got any questions, please let me know. Okay. I really don't hate to take up too much of your time. All right. So please let me know if you got any questions. Okay.